good morning. Welcome to the first session of the week. I hope you all had a lovely weekend and managed to enjoy some of the sunshine before it's got a little bit cooler. Let's get started. Good, so we're going to start with a little stretch. So just going to take the hands interlaced in front, rounding through the arms. You're going to curve through the back and drop the head through the middle of those hands. And just holding this stretch for a few nice deep breaths in and out. From here, dropping the arms, taking them behind you. Pulling the arms back, lifting the chest, looking up towards the ceiling. We're repeating that again, interlace the fingers, reaching the arms forwards, curving the back, pulling that tummy in. Relaxing there, take the hands behind, pulling back, lifting the chest, holding here. And relaxing there. Going onto our back for our breathing. So laying down in neutral, knees bent, feet on the floor. You've got a slight curve underneath the lower back and your arms are resting down beside you. And we're just taking nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through a pursed lip. Breathing in and out. So as you're taking those nice deep breaths in and out, I want you to think about the position of your hips, keeping them nice and level. Imagine you've got a torch on each hip bone and they're shining up parallel to one another onto the ceiling. Keeping the upper body relaxed. Shoulders away from the ears, chest is nice and open. Keeping the weight even through your feet. So remember, big toe, little toe and heel. And just gently tightening in the tummy. The next time that you breathe out, I'd like you to tuck the pelvis under, so you're flattening your lower back into the mat. Take a deep breath in to stay. Exhale to release out to neutral. Tucking under to flatten. Holding here. Releasing back out. Excuse me. So we want to get a nice strong flat back position as you're tucking under. And we're using just the pelvis and the tummy muscles to move. So try and avoid squeezing your bottom. So on this next one, we're going to hold our flat back position. So we're tucking under to hold. So keeping that flat back. We're going to start to tighten in the pelvic floor. So as you breathe out, you're tightening all the way in with the pelvic floor. Inhale to release. Exhale to tighten. Inhale to release. So you're thinking of the sensation of stopping a wee mid-flow. So as you're tightening, you should feel as though your tummy muscles are working harder and that your back is slightly flatter into the floor. We're halving this contraction, so 50% tightening in the pelvic floor as we exhale. Inhale to release. So we're still thinking about those shoulders staying nice and relaxed. They're away from the ears. Your chest is nice and open. And if you are feeling really tense here, you can turn the palms up towards the ceiling. We're pulling the tummy all the way down towards your spine. And we're keeping the weight evenly placed to those feet. So remember, big toe, little toe, and heel. We're going to half one last time, so 20 to 25% tightening. And this should feel like a very gentle lifting, something that you could sustain throughout any exercise if you needed to. It's just working in the background. So your flat back position should feel nice and strong. You're using your tummy muscles and your pelvic floor to help you to stay there. You're going to bring both legs up into a tabletop position. Glue those legs together, and as you breathe out, you're going to tip both legs over to the side. Release one hip from the floor. Inhale to come back to the center. Exhale over to the other side, releasing that hip. Come back to the center, tipping over and center. So although you're releasing that hip from the floor, you're trying to keep both shoulders in contact with your mat. You're using your tummy muscles to take you over to the side. Bring you back to the center. You should find that flat back. Tighten the pelvic floor. And again, we tip over to the other side. And center. Tip over. And center. Nice deep breaths. You have two more on each side. We're tipping over and center. Tipping over and center. One more time on each side, tipping over. And centre. Tipping over. And centre. From there, hug both knees in towards your chest. And then we're going to go onto our hands and knees for our stretch through our backs. So you're placing your hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath those hips. Your tummy is already nice and tightened here. As you breathe out, you're tucking the bottom under. So we start to curve. Arching the spine, we're dropping the head. Take a deep breath in to stay. Exhale to let the pelvis go back to your start position. We're working through each section of your spine, piece by piece. And your head is the last thing to lift. Tucking under to curve, arching the back, dropping the head. We hold, releasing out through the spine. Lifting the head. So we want to get lots of movement through the back. So you're working into each section, piece by piece. So if you do have any areas of your back that are feeling really stiff and sore, just slow them down. So as we're curving in the back, and pulling the tummy all the way in. As you return to your start position, let the shoulders come away from your ears. Lifting the head. 2 more here. This is your last one. We're tucking under to curve. Arching the back. Dropping the head. We're holding here. Then releasing out through the spine. Back to our start position. From here we come back into a shell stretch. So push your bottom to your feet. And reach those arms out in front. And then we're going on to our sides. So knees are bent, legs are one on top of the other. Resting on your side, you can use a pillow here if you need to. Take those arms out nice and long, shoulder height, palm to palm. So we're going to lift the top arm up so that your fingertips point to the ceiling. Take the head with you as you twist away from the body to the opposite wall. Holding here, we're taking a nice long stretch before lifting back up and over to bring the arm back down, palm to palm. So we're going to lift the top arm up, fingertips point to the ceiling. Take the head with you. You're twisting away. Holding here, take a nice long stretch before lifting back up and over. Coming down palm to palm. So we want those legs glued together and grounded. That's going to make sure that you can get this twist through your waist. Keep the arm long, reaching from the fingertips all the way into your armpit. Looking at that hand for as long as you can. Still getting a good range of movement through the neck. We want to open up in the chest as you're taking nice deep breaths. We have 2 more on this side, lifting up. Taking the head with you, twisting away. We hold, lifting back up and over, coming back down palm to palm. This is your last one. Lifting up, fingertips to the ceiling. Taking the head with you, twisting away, holding here, before lifting back up and over, back down palm to palm. From here we swap sides. So again, legs together, knees bent, resting down, take those arms nice and long, palm to palm. So we lift that top arm up, fingertips to the ceiling. Take the head with you, twisting away. Holding here to take that nice long stretch before lifting back up and over, coming down palm to palm. Lifting the top arm up, fingertips to the ceiling. Take the head with you as you're twisting away. Holding here to stretch before lifting back up and over, coming down palm to palm. So remember, those legs are glued together, keeping that twist through your waist. The arm stretches out nice and long from the fingertips all the way into the armpit. We're making sure we're getting that nice open position with the chest. Deep breaths. Looking at the hand for as long as you can. Making sure you're getting a good range of movement through the head. Two more here. Lifting up, fingertips to the ceiling. Take the head with you, twisting away. We hold. Coming back up and over. Down palm to palm. Last one, fingertips lift. Take the head with you, twisting away. Holding here. Lifting back up and over to come down, roll onto your back to take a full body stretch. And grab a drink if you need one. From here we're staying on our backs. You're just going to be laying in a neutral position with your knees bent and your feet on the floor. So make sure you've got that curve underneath your lower back. From here, your arms are just resting down beside you. You're taking a nice deep breath in to nod the head, chin to chest. Exhale to lift your shoulders from the floor. Your arms are reaching nice and long. Take a deep breath in to stay. Exhale to control back down. Chin to chest. Lifting the shoulders, reaching the arms. We hold. Control back down. So remember, you're using your tummy muscles to lift you, pulling your belly button all the way in. You've got this chin to chest position to keep the neck nice and relaxed. So make sure it's a nice big nod of the head first, then tighten the tummy to lift you. Arms are reaching nice and long. Get your shoulders away from your ears. Nice deep breaths. Tightening that pelvic floor. Working those deeper tummy muscles right at the bottom. Let's take 2 more here, then we'll change the arms. Chin to chest. Lifting those shoulders, we hold. Control back down. Last one, chin to chest. Lifting the shoulders up, we hold. Control back down. From there, relaxing there, hug both knees into your chest. And then we're going to go onto our knees. So if being in a knelt position is really painful for you, really uncomfortable, then you can go into a laying position on your front with your hands open in line with the ears. So from here, you're just resting the arms down beside you and taking a little tuck in of your head. So think again of a very slight chin to chest position. Your tummy is nice and tightened the whole time that we move here. Get those knees underneath the hips, they're not too wide. And just rest the toes down. If you know you suffer from cramp, tuck them under, but if not, they're resting down. Taking a nice deep breath in, you're going to take a very slight lean back. Keep it nice and small. As you exhale, squeeze the bottom, drive yourself back up. Inhale to lean back. Squeeze to lift. Use that exhale. Tuck that chin in. Squeeze and lift. So the lean is quite small. You don't want to be going too far back. Just keep it really tiny, just that you're firing up the legs, the tummy and the bottom. Relax those shoulders, they shouldn't be lifting up to the ears. So the tummy's tightened the whole time. Let's take 3 more here, leaning back. Squeeze and lift. Leaning back. Squeeze and lift. Last one here, leaning back. Squeeze and lift. We're going to go into our shell stretch. So you're just going to push your bottom back to your feet. And you're reaching those arms out in front. From here, if you need a drink, grab one, and then we're going to be on our backs for the 100. So, coming onto your back, so you're laying flat on the floor for this one, and we're going to be in a flattened position. So you're in a nice flat back, you're really tucked under, no gap underneath your lower spine. You're going to be lifting both of your legs into a tabletop position. Have both legs lifted, and you want to think about your knees being on top of your hips. I'll talk you through and then we'll go all together. So both legs are lifted up. If your neck is sore, leave your head laying back. If not, we're going to go chin to chest, lifting those shoulders, arms are nice and long. So we're beating your arms up and down, just with those palms facing the floor. 5 as you breathe in, 5 as you breathe out, same as we would usually do. I'll demonstrate. So we inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. From there, you'll take both hands behind your head. Chin is nice and tucked in. And we're going to go into 2 sets of 8, sitting up towards those legs. So you're going to be going up and down. Just nice sit-ups here, really working through the tummy. From there, you're going to relax your head down, your arms rest down beside you. And then you're going to go into toe tap. So from your lifted tabletop position, you're tapping down and lift. Tap down and lift. So you've got 2 sets of 8 there. And after that, you're relaxing down and hugging those knees into your chest before we reach out into a full body stretch. Okay, I'll talk you through everything so that you know what's going on. So get your nice flat back position. When you're ready, lift both those legs up into tabletop. Bring your arms nice and long, palms facing the floor. You're lifting your upper body, nod the head, lift those shoulders off. And we inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tummy in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pelvic floor, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Halfway, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tummy in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Staying there. Take both hands behind your head. We've got sit-ups coming up for 8, 7, 6, 5. Breathe. 4, 3, 2, 1. 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Tummies in. 3, 2, 1. Resting the head down. The arms rest down beside you. You've got your toe taps for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last set. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From there, hug your knees in towards your chest. And then when you're ready, reach yourself out long into that full body stretch. From there, bring yourself into a seated position. So we're going to come into our mermaid position. So just to recap on that position, you are either sitting with your legs crossed, again one leg in front, one leg tucked under, or you're going to take that tucked under leg and bring it behind you. And again, this can be either a really closed position or quite an open position, whatever is comfortable for you. I'll just move this out of the way. With the leg that you've got in front, you're going to have that hand of the same side just resting on the floor. And you want to have that hand so that you can slide out and in. The hand of the leg behind on the same side is reaching out. So we're looking to lengthen the side of the body here, getting a really nice stretch through what is called our obliques. So with this arm reaching long, you're going to reach over towards the wall and lift yourself all the way up, like you're drawing a semicircle. Slide this hand away. And if you can, drop onto the forearm. So you're getting a really nice lengthening down this side. And we're just going to hold here for a few nice deep breaths in and out. So breathing in and out. In and out. Last one here, in and out. So then you can push down this forearm to bring yourself up back to your start position. And when we're ready, we're going to go again. Reach over, lift all the way up, slide that arm away. If you're still staying high, that's that's where your stretch is. If you can, you're dropping down, reaching through. Lifting yourself back up. We've got one more here. Reaching long, all the way up and over, sliding away. Coming back up and over. So then we're going to swap sides. So again, you can either be cross-legged with that leg slightly in front, or you're going to take the leg that needs to go behind and tuck it behind your body. So remember, you can have that position as loose or as closed in as you need to. And if you are in a cross-leg on one position and a mermaid on the other, that doesn't matter. So take one hand down beside you, it's the hand of the leg that's in front, and the hand of the leg that's behind is long. So you're reaching up across, all the way up and over. Slide this arm away if you can, drop down. Take that nice long stretch. So you're stretching down the side of the body, and you might feel tighter on one side than the other, and that really doesn't matter. You just want to get that lengthening. Nice deep breaths. Come back up and over. When you're ready, go again. Reach, lift up, stretching over. Lifting back up. One more here. Reach, lift up and over. Lengthening the side. Come back up and relax down. Good. From here, we're going to take our legs just into a comfortable seated position. So if that's open or if it's crossed, then that's completely fine. We're going to do our stretches as we walk forward. So this is a really good one for lengthening through the back and the arms. Lots of people, when you're reaching for things, other than on that one we've just done, don't fully extend through their elbows, especially when you're trying to grab and reach your stuff at home, or like lifting up. It's just good to really lengthen through the body. So it's really good for that length of the arms and stretching and opening through the back. Okay, I'm going to turn to the side for this one so you can see a little bit better. So just a position that's comfortable. So that can be open with the legs crossed, just however is comfortable for you to sit. You can be on a cushion. So taking those hands down, I'm going to start to walk them forwards. Just keep it nice and small to begin with. And here, I'm going to drop that head. And just take nice deep breaths in and out. We're breathing in and out. Let the head drop, nice deep breaths in and out. Deep breath in. As you breathe out, reach those hands further forward. Dropping that head. Breathing in and out. So we're really filling up those lungs, forcing all of that breath out. Walk those hands forwards. This time we're just holding here. So really think about getting as much air as you possibly can into your lungs. We're getting every bit of air out. So your breaths in and out should be really long. They should take up quite a lot of time. Let's do one more here. Deep breath in. Fully exhale. And just slowly walk those hands back in. We're going to swap the legs that are in front or on top if you are crossed. If your legs are quite open, then just again find a position that's comfortable for you. We're doing exactly the same thing. So walk those arms forwards. Drop that head. Nice deep breaths. Really deep breath in. As you breathe out, creep those hands further forwards. So again, taking those nice deep breaths in and out. So I talked about this last week or the week before. Making sure they're fully breathing when lots of people don't use the full capacity of their lungs. If you're not used to breathing this deeply, you might start to feel a little bit lightheaded. As you exhale, creep those hands forwards. If you are feeling lightheaded, then of course you can start to take that breath a little bit shallower, but it actually means that you need to do more deep breath practicing so that you're used to using the full size of your lungs, your full lung capacity. Just walking those hands back in. Sitting up tall, taking a nice stretch. So bringing the soles of the feet together, knees are wide, hips are nice and open. Usual stretch forwards. So having that nice deep breath ability, which a lot of us have lost from just modern day hustle and bustle. You know, if you suffer from anxiety and stuff like that, especially with what's going on around the world at the moment, it can help to calm you. It's a really good technique to just help you bring yourself back in, you know, in tune with your body and calm you down. Push those elbows in. Because when people get panicked, they breathe even shorter, their breath gets really shallow. So if you're not able or you don't know how to breathe deeply, then you're going to find it really difficult to find that calming side if you are getting panicked. But if you have any questions, you can drop me a message about that. Good, from here on our backs again, grab yourself a drink if you need one. So as you lay on your back, you're finding a flat back position. So you're laying flat on your back, tucking under to lose the gap underneath your lower spine. You're going to bring both legs up into a tabletop position. So again, get those knees over the hips. And if you know that you suffer from a sore neck and shoulders, leave your head resting back. If not, your chin to chest, lifting those shoulders off. Your arms are just beside you, beside the knees, or resting down if you're laying back. From here, as you breathe out, one leg is going to reach long and away, the other one is staying where it is. Inhale to come back to the centre. Exhale to swap sides, that leg is reaching long and away. Come back to the centre. So your legs are in a lifted position, coming down and in. Down and in. So the leg that's moving, it doesn't matter how high or low that movement is, as long as you're getting that full straightening through the knee. So your leg shouldn't touch the floor if you are going low, it's just a hover off. But get that length. Keeping your flat back position. Your tummy pulled down, use your pelvic floor, so you're losing the gap underneath your lower spine. If you still feel that appearing, keep your leg high. Chin to chest if you're lifted, relax through the neck. Deep breaths. Let's take 2 more on each side, reaching long and in, reaching long and in. Last one on each side, reaching long. And in, reaching long. And in. Hug those knees into your chest. From here, get your flat back position again. So adjust that if you need to. Lift those legs back into tabletop. So knees are over the hips, shins are parallel to the ceiling. Take your hands behind your head. Again, we're going to nod the head, lift those shoulders off. You're still taking the same movement with your legs. So one leg is going to reach long and away while the other leg stays bent and in tabletop. But as you do that, you're going to twist your upper body towards the knee that you've left behind. Inhale to the center. Swap sides, long and twist. Come back to the center. We're going along with the leg, twisting with the body. And center. Breathe. So you still need the length through the leg. Doesn't matter how high or low it's traveling, it's staying nice and straight. You're twisting with the upper body. Use your tummy and use your pelvic floor to find your flat back as you come into the center. You're taking 2 more on each side. Twisting over and center. Twisting over and center. 1 more on each side. We're twisting over and center. Twisting over and center. Hug those knees in. Just rock from side to side. And then take yourself into a nice full body stretch. Good. From here, grab a drink if you need one. We're going to be laying on our sides. So you're going to start laying with those knees bent, legs on top of one another, laying down. You can either lay with your arm reaching long and away, resting your head on top of it, the underneath arm, or if that's uncomfortable for you, bend the elbow and support the head with your hand. If you suffer from sore hips, grab yourself a towel and roll it up and put it in a circle around the outside of your hip so your hip can sit through the middle. Feet are connected. You're going to be lifting this top leg. Place your hand onto your hip so that you can make sure it's staying in place. So from here, you're going to lift this top knee up as high as you can while stabilising the hip. So we lift and close. We're doing some clams. Lifting up and close. We need to make sure we've got those nice deep breaths. Shouldn't be holding your breath at any point. We've got 4 more here. Lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. Last 2. Lift and down. Lift and down. From there, take your legs out long. If you flex your feet and look down your body, you should be able to see your toes, something that's getting harder for me each day. If you can't see your toes, then your legs are probably too far behind you. Bring them further forwards. Just take your hand to your hip to make sure that your hips are pointing up to the ceiling. You might want to sit too far forwards. You should be able to feel that from looking at your elbow, or too far back. If that's happening, just adjust that position and then take that hand onto the floor to support you. Zip up underneath your waist. From here, you're going to lift the top foot up, pointed just to hip height. Flex to come back down. Point to lift. Flex to come back down. Breathe. Really think about the point and flex movement through the ankle. So you're keeping, a nice range of movement through there. If you're not doing a lot of walking or running or cycling or whatever, then you're not going to be using that full ankle movement. Still breathing. Keeping that tummy tightened. You've got 2 more here. Point to lift. Flex to come down. Last one. Point to lift. Flex down. From here, we lift this top leg up. We've got those circles coming forwards for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest the leg down. You're going to lift your top leg up, pointed just to hip height. The bottom one goes to meet it. Bring them back down. Staying lifted through those hips. Coming up, up, and down. Lift, lift, and down. So if you do want to make these a little bit harder, I don't, but if you did, and you had ankle weights at home, you could then start to strap those around your ankles and have them on to make it harder to lift. Nice deep breaths. Last 2. Lift, lift, and down. Lift, lift, and down. Double lifts coming up and down, up and down, up and down. Lift and down. 4 more. Lift and down, lift and down. Last 2. Lift and down, lift and down. If you don't have ankle weights, but you do have tins of baked beans, you could here, for your double lift, have a tin of baked beans between your feet to lift up and down. Just an idea, you haven't got to do it. From there, we're swapping sides. So again, on your side, knees bent, legs on top of one another. Arm is either reaching out for you to rest your head on or bending the elbow to support your head at the back. Place your top hand on top of your hip to make sure that it's staying nice and stabilised. Got to bend through the knee, the feet are glued together. You're opening up, lifting that top knee and down. Stabilise the hips. You shouldn't be letting that bottom leg lift or the hips swing back. Lifting up and down. Deep breaths. Lifting up and down. Still working the tummy. Up and down. Lift and down. 2 more. Lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. From there, legs are long. Flex those feet. Look down your body. You should see those toes. Make sure the hips are staying on top. They're stacked. They're not too far forwards or too far back because you're zipping up underneath your waist. Use this top hand for support if you need it. You're lifting up, pointed, flexing to come back down. Point to lift, flex to come down. You're working through the ankle. Pushing into that flexed foot. It will stretch down the back of your calf if you're tight. Deep breaths. Two more. Lifting up. Flex down. Lifting up. Flex down. Lifting up for your circles. This will be really good with those ankle weights on. Circle forwards for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And resting down. Lifting up. Pointed to hip height. Bottom leg meets it. They come back down. Lift, lift. And down. Lift, lift, and down. Lift, lift, and down. 4 more. Up, up, and down. up, up and down. Last two. Lift, lift and down. Lift, lift and down. Double lifts coming up and down. Up and down. Lift and down. Lift and down. 4 more. Lift and down. Lift and down. Last two. Lift and down. Lift and down. Relaxing there. Roll onto your back. Taking a nice full body stretch. From here, we're on our hands and knees. Grab a drink if you need one. Okay, so on our hands and knees, we're going to go straight into knee lifts. We haven't done these for a few days. So hands under the shoulders, knees into your hips, toes are tucked under. If your knees are sore, grab something soft to pop underneath them. If you can't bear weight through the hands and the wrists, bring yourself down onto your forearms. Okay? From here, as you breathe out, you're pulling your tummy all the way in, pressing into your hands and your feet, and your knees are lifting off of the floor. Just an inch or so. Inhale down. Exhale, you're going to lift the knees off. Inhale down. Lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. So you're thinking tummy is lifting you. Hands and feet are just there for support. Make sure that as you're lifting and lowering, you're not dropping through the head or lifting too far up. So if you're on long arms, you should be looking just past your fingertips towards the end of your mat. If you're on your forearms, look straight down to the floor. Don't start to push up through the chin. You'll still add lots of tension through the neck there. 4 more, lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. 2 more, lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. Good, from here we're going to do our planks, but we're going to try and do side planks or a variation of a side plank. So we're going to start on our forearm because it's quite a lot of weight to bear through the wrist. So on your forearm, we're going to take, if you are really good at side planks already, then you're going to take your legs out long and away from you. If you've never done side planks before, keep them nice and bent. If you've kind of done them a little bit, but you're not sure, you know, your underneath leg bent and your top leg out straight. So I'll talk you through all 3 of them and we'll go from there. If both legs are bent, then what you're going to be doing is pressing into your forearm that's on the floor and pressing into your lower leg from your knees down to your feet to drive your hips up. You can just have your hand on your hip here, and that's what we're going to be doing for our side plank. Try and hold that lift for a breath in and out. If you're doing that and it's quite easy, then all you're going to do is take the top leg out long and away. So you're then going to push into your foot of your long leg that's on top and the lower part of your leg that's bent. So again, lift yourself up and down. If you can do it with both legs long, then you're taking the bottom leg just resting down and the top leg is pressing flat, so that as you drive up, you've got a bit more of a base to the floor, and again, you're driving your hips up high. I can't demonstrate that, I'm afraid, but it's exactly the same movement as the other ones. You've just got both legs long, okay? If that explanation does not make any sense and you don't know what you're doing, go to a normal plank and message me later and I'll talk you through it a little bit better. So from here, pressing into your forearm, pressing into your lower leg and your feet, driving those hips up. We're going to hold for a breath in and out. Come back down. You might find you need to adjust where your arm is. Just make sure you're not pushing into your elbow. you're using the whole of your forearm. Lifting up and down. If you are feeling like you're going to your elbow, you might be pushing yourself too far back, so make sure that your weight is coming directly up. Lifting up and down. Let's do 2 more on this side, and then we're going to swap. Lifting up and down. Last one, lift yourself up and down. From there, we're swapping sides. So I'll quickly talk you through it again. On your forearm, you've either got both legs bent, pressing into the lower part of your leg to give you that lift up and down. You can, if that's too easy, or you want to challenge yourself more, bring one leg out long. It's exactly the same thing. You're driving the hips up. If you know you've done side planks before, bring both legs long, but have the top leg foot flat, so you can push up from that position. Everyone, the principle is the same. You're driving your hips up as high as you can. Okay, so we're going to be lifting ourselves up. Hold for your breath in. Out. Bring yourself down. And again, press into the leg and the foot. Coming up, holding in. And out. Come back down. Lifting up. Breathing in. Out. And down. Let's do 2 more here. Lifting up. Breathing in. Out. And down. Last one. Driving up. Breathing in. Out. And down. Relaxing there. Give those arms a shake out. Well done. Those are difficult. If you have got questions on those, either drop them underneath when we finish or private message me and I'll try and explain them a little bit better for you. Going into our stretches. So from here, we're going to bring one leg in front of you, one leg underneath you. The leg that's in front, take your foot at a slightly forwards diagonal angle. The leg that's underneath you, the knee, should be underneath your hip. Get your hips facing forwards. You can tuck this back toe under if you need help balancing. And you're going to then drive this knee and your hips forward. So think about tucking your bottom under to push it forwards. And that's just to where you can go. But what you want to do is to have this knee above that heel. And this knee will then be at a diagonal angle. And you should feel this inside this hip and in this top thigh. Holding here, nice deep breaths. So just keeping that stretched to where you can. If it's small, that doesn't matter. From left, start to push yourself back on the front leg. If you can, we want to sit on the back leg. If you can't do that, then just bring that leg out to the side. What we want basically is the front leg to be nice and straight as you're seated and you're just reaching towards those toes. We're swapping sides. So you should now have the other leg in front at that diagonal angle, foot to knee, and the knee that's supporting you should be directly underneath your hip. Leaning yourself forward. So you're then going to bring this knee in line with that heel, this knee at a diagonal angle to your hip. Holding that stretch, really push your hips into it, stretching the underneath inside your hip, the top leg on your thigh. Nice deep breaths. And you're straightening yourself that front leg. And if you can, leaning back, stretching towards that foot. Relaxing there. Bring yourself either into a kneeling or a standing position. And from here, we're just going to roll those shoulders back. And forwards. Bring both arms out to the side. We're lifting up. We're going to reach over to the side. Come back to the centre. We're lifting up. Reaching over. One more time on each side, lifting up. And over. Lifting up. And over. And relaxing there. That's the end of today's class. Thank you so much for joining me for today's session. If you have got any questions, especially on those side planks, then either drop them below or drop me a private message if you would prefer. I'll be happy to try and answer your questions as best I can. I realise that some of my explanations aren't making sense at the moment as baby brain starts to creep in, but I'm doing my best. Please let me know how you found the session, and I hope you get to enjoy the sunshine, although it is a little bit colder today. Try and get out and go for a nice walk if you can, and I hope to see lots of you tomorrow or later on in the week. Take care, bye bye.